Everyone. My name is Bradford Ingersoll, and I'm one of the team members working on the Cargo Upgrade Service project, or as we've called it, the Servo Dependency tool. Now, this team is made up of NC State students from the spring 2017 course CSC 517, focused on object-oriented design and development. Now, for this assignment, we've been tasked with contributing to an open source software initiative, so our team decided to contribute to the Mozilla Servo project. For those who aren't aware, the Servo project is Mozilla's prototype web browser engine, and it's written in the Rust programming language. Now, something to know about Rust, which of course goes for most languages, is that there are various libraries that you can use in your projects in order to facilitate your development. These libraries are maintained on the package manager crates.io. Now, this crates.io is an index that kind of contains all the links to all the latest versions for all these different packages. However, the pain point or the request came about because when these packages get updated, there's no notification to any tool or any projects using these dependencies. And so this tool is going to seek to help automate the upgrade process for all of Servo's dependencies whenever new versions are released, or just to automatically check for new versions and update them as they occur. Go over here to the request page from Servo's wiki, and you can see here, I won't read it all, but you can find the link in this video. But that being said, just kind of get a high level of how the program flow is. Our tool starts by going and pulling, of course, the latest, doing a git pull on the latest Servo repository. Just make sure that the fork is up to date and ready to be used. So then, before making any changes, we create a branch to do all of these updates on. Once that branch is created, the first kind of major initial step here was to parse the cargo.lock file. For a little background on Rust, when a Rust program is built, this cargo.lock file is generated and it contains all of the packages or dependencies within a project as well as their current versions. So we parse this out into our own custom objects that store all this information so that we can see, okay, what packages exist in the project and what are their current version. Once we have that, we then also need to compare it to crates.io, which is the package manager I mentioned. And so we grab the index of that and we compare current version to whatever crates.io has as the most recent version. And if there is any upgrades, we note that and we note the newest version. From there, we go ahead and in order for, again, the way that Rust works, we have to go through and change the cargo.toml files, which you'll see that step here, because before an update can be run, these files have to specify the version that needs to exist when a build is ran. And so these will all have the old version until we go through and update them. So we update them with all the versions we got from crates.io. Then we run the update command for each package. So that's why the -p name. So for each package, we run cargo update. And so now, at this point, we've got a branch with a whole bunch of updated dependencies, all the changed cargo toml files. And so we push that up to the upstream. And then the last step is to open a pull request against Servo's main GitHub, saying that this branch has updated dependencies on it. And that's the gist of kind of the high level view of how our tool, the requirements for our tool. But enough talking. Let's see the tool at work. So here you can see I'm in a servo directory. What that means is I've gone ahead and I've forked the servo repository. I've cloned it here on this machine, which is a Amazon AWS server. And first things first is we have to get our tool. So the way our tool's been designed for ease of use is we wanted to be able to just clone it directly into the servo directory. So let's go ahead and grab the link for it for the servo dependency tool. And so we clone it straight into our forked servo repository. Now that it's here, let's go ahead and just navigate to show. These are all the different Python files. Now this is all in our README, and you can check out the files, but the main driver for our tool is the exact name of the tool, so the servo dependency tool. So just like that, clone and run this command, and we'll go ahead and get running what's happening. You can see here it's mentioned that the first step was it wanted to do a git pull inside, and there's a directory there. That's actually the parent outside of course, the servo dependency tool, which is the servo directory. And we want to do a pull on that to, like I said, get the latest fork. We've also gone ahead and created a new branch with today's date and the update, create update name. But in order to do some of these GitHub commands, of course, we need a valid GitHub account. So logging in here. All right, it's gone ahead and changed the git ignore for our tool to add it to the tool to the servo ignore. We've parsed the lock already, removed some packages that we want to ignore based on description from the Mozilla team. All of those numbers up there list the current and latest versions as we compared to crates.io and what's in the cargo lock. Kind of examples, you can see Gleam has an update that's available, several others. So now it's going through and it already changed all the TOML files, and so now we're actually running the update command already. Sometimes there's instances of this where several different versions were listed throughout the files, and so we are able to specify the version and rerun the command with the specific version, and it passes through. So this is updating all of the ones that it found different from the crates.io, whatever the latest on crates.io is, compared to what was in the cargo.log file. So these are all of the cargo update commands. Just let this run for a moment. Let's see. Talking through this, just the way that Rust works, you can generally execute cargo space update, I believe, -p, and then whatever your package name is. But specifically for servo, and our tool will actually handle both, but specifically for servo, if it finds this MACH file, that's their script to be used kind of on top of some of these cargo operations, and so that's what's happening here. But the tool is definitely valid, or it has components that could be used as well to make a tool to help out any Rust projects in terms of updating their dependencies. As you can see, the Servo project has a lot of dependencies to it, which is why I guess the need for this tool came about and just the benefit to having it. I'm trying to go through and check all of these on a regular basis, run the updates for them, it would be a tedious process. But that being said, this should not take but just a few more moments. And we'll see the last few commands at work. All right, so pushing the changes to our branch, which was that 2017 322 branch. You can see we were on the master before, and now we've switched to the branch create update. This was just a warning that it's pushing it based on my root committer. But their child's changed. Now in order to do this, like I said, we do need valid GitHub credentials. So with those put in place, it will go ahead and yep, nothing to commit, working tree. This is a status after we've done our push. So that means our branch is now up to date with all these files. And once again, just to do a pull request, we had to use one more time some credentials for that. And it's finished. So let's see if we can see all the changes. So over here, this was my fork repository. You can already see I recently pushed a branch. This branch, and we'll have a commit with updated dependencies. So created a branch, see it's forked from servo, created this branch with today's date and time, made a commit with updated dependencies, and then most importantly on servo itself, if we go over here, we'll see that there is, once again, we've made a pull request with a good header saying that we've updated dependencies and all the TOML files to the latest versions. And there you have it. That is the Servo Dependency tool at work, our open source software contribution. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us. Thank you.